a lot of fun. I tested it myself, and it looks really good. It looks really fun, and this might make for a really interesting race. These drivers will go up to speeds of a little over 215 miles an hour on arcade mode, which is what we're on right now. Sorry, breaking the fourth wall here. But on simulation mode, they go up to 250 miles an hour. But this is gonna be anyways, minus that, we're ready to go racing here at the Alaska Super Speedway for the Christmas 300. Last year, this race was held at Daytona. This year, it's Alaska, and on the pole position for tonight's race is the number 80 of Ace Garcia, and alongside the number 60 of Al Lagasse. A couple of NR veterans on the front row, and you probably saw the rest of the starting grid down at the bottom of your screen. But this is going to be very interesting. 40 laps around here, 300 miles. This is going to be a fun one here in Alaska. 42 drivers strapped into their cars. Pre-race ceremonies are just now wrapping up. But in order to get these 42 cars rolling off, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
Now here's Michael Buffer! And now, the track is ready, the drivers are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? NASCAR fans, are you ready? There's only one thing left to say. Let's get ready to rumble!
Ladies and gentlemen,
engines have fired. Pace car is rolling off, and so are these 42 race cars. Some of the drivers that were in the Santa Claus 100 at Kalamazoo Speedway earlier today have made their way up here, and they are strapped into their race cars. They're ready to go for tonight's event. The winner of the Santa Claus 100, Dylan Young, is in this race. He starts all the way back in the 40th position. But just like any other super speedway, whether it be Daytona, Talladega, Armory Digital, Ricky Raceway, doesn't matter where. Doesn't matter where you start. It's always a matter of where you finish. Pace car is off. We're going to get right on down to it. Ace Garcia and Al Lagasse lead them to green in the Christmas 300. And the hometown hero takes the lead. Goes to the point here at the Alaska Super Speedway. That is Emily Anderson in the number 66. Rounding her way through 3 and 4. Drivers starting to form up 3 wide behind her. And Emily Anderson, hometown hero, leads lap number 1. Now Emily Anderson getting a challenge from Nathan Stapleton in the number 30 machine. Here comes Garrett Senor in the number, that is actually Nathan Orman in the number 38 machine. The 14 of Lane Rowland is coming up through the field. Up there in the second position, Emily Anderson way off, a little bit off the racetrack. Rowland in the 14, getting underneath of Nathan Orman. Hannah Higdon there. You see her in that white and green number 48 on that inside, followed by Al Lagasse in the 60. You also have the 21 of Marcus Sachi there, the Band-Aid car, right there on the bottom. Zachary Fitzwater going way low. Emily Anderson way up on that high side. You see the 38 of Orman going high as well. Here comes the 72. That is Nathan Bell. Bell challenging for second and possibly the lead going into turn 3. Hannah Higdon has it. Nathan Bell is going to want it. edging ahead, going through 3 and 4, coming out of turn number 4 this time. Look at that shot right there. A nice close-up there of Nathan Bell's car. As Nathan Bell's going to lead the lap. Whoa, El Legacy way down in the apron. That's a challenge that some of these drivers are going to be faced with, is trying to get getting down on that apron. Oh, we got a crash. William Brock way off the racetrack. That was the first car I saw go off the track. There you see the I think that's the 26 of Kyle Langland. Yes, it is. That's Kyle Langland. One car stopped. That is William Brock. Another car there was a third car that was moving around. But the caution flag is out for the first time today, and it will be Nathan Stapleton leading them back to the caution flag, just barely edging out Nathan Orman. Now these drivers are going to have to be really careful. They all passed the pace car at high speed. Who was that third car? Kyle Langland's still moving. That 30 car, that's the 29 of Noah Clifton. A bad day has just gotten worse for Noah Clifton, going from one of the most dominant drivers in the Santa Claus 100 from earlier today, now finding himself getting back onto the racetrack. There he is, coming back out. But Noah Clifton's day just got a whole lot worse after a heartbreak in the Santa Claus 100, leading 85 laps to crashing on lap number 4 here in the Christmas 300. So Nathan Stapleton is your race leader. Second is Nathan Orman. Third is Emily Anderson. Fourth is Lane Rowland. Fifth, that is Nathan Bell. Sixth, Hannah Higdon. Seventh is Kev Shearer. Eighth, that is Wyatt Walker. Ninth is Ryan Kendall. And rounding out your top 10, that is Garrett Sineur. Let's go back and see what happened that triggered our very first caution flag of the night here in the Christmas 300. So this is looking at Noah Clifton here. It looks like he got down between a rock and a hard place down on that apron, and turn 2 comes back up into Kyle Langland, clips William Brock. William Brock, just an innocent bystander there. Same for Kyle Langland. Noah Clifton. Whoa, look at the one of William Brock just go flying up into the air. Top of your screen. Man, William Brock took such a wild ride in that number 1. Just went way up into the air. And that's what happens when you go off the racetrack here at Alaska. You get launched. You get absolutely launched up into the air. And then you're at this point, you're just a passenger. And unfortunately, William Brock was one of those drivers that played the passenger here in this wreck. Let's go on board with William Brock. See how Legacy made his mistake getting down on the apron. Now watch Noah Clifton. At this point, when Clifton clips the apron, he gets out of control right there. See what I mean? That's what happens. You get launched off the racetrack, and you're just a passenger once you take off. It's because of the banking on here at Alaska. When you go up the banking, and the banking just stops and gets flat, you're launched. You get launched off the racetrack. And unfortunately, William Brock was the driver that got launched off the racetrack. So our first caution of the night is out for William Brock, Noah Clifton, and Kyle Langland, all crashing in turn 2, going off the racetrack. William Brock, wild ride as he goes up into the air and into the trees, and he is done for the day.
Hey.
Kevin Harvick.
Changing your oil after 3,000 miles?
Yes.
If you'd used new Mobil 1 annual protection, you wouldn't have to. You protect your engine for 1 year with just one oil change.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Why are you 3 inches tall?
What? You don't like short people?
Dikembe.
Don't change your oil.
New Mobile One Annual Protection.
We are back here at the Alaska Super Speedway. Right now, Nathan Stapleton is your race leader. Nathan Orman is running in the second position. Emily Anderson running in the third spot. That's your top three, along with Lane Rowland in the number 14. And Nathan Bell in the 72. That it rounds out your top five. Then sixth is Hannah Higdon. Seventh is Kev Shear. Eighth, that would be the 37. Wyatt Walker. Ninth, Ryan Kendall. And rounding out your top 10, that is Garrett Sanur. Drivers out of the race. After the lap 4 crash, is actually all three of the drivers that you saw involved in the lap 4 crash. That is William Brock in the 1, Kyle Langland in the 26, and Noah Clifton in the number 29. We're about to restart with 8 laps in the books here at the Alaska Super Speedway, so that leaves 39 cars left on the racetrack. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle this restart single file. Watch them as they might eventually clinch right back up into maybe a huge 3, maybe 4 wide pack, and maybe expect this pack to kind of break up into 2, possibly 2 packs within close proximity of each other. You're just gonna have to keep a very close eye on that. It's the Nathan and Nathan show, as you probably already know. Up into the top 2, Nathan Stapleton and Nathan Orman, 30 and 38. They're gonna lead us back. They're gonna lead everybody else back down to the restart here in the Christmas 300 here in Alaska. Stapleton gets a pretty decent jump in that Slim Jim Chevy as they go into turn 1. Ryan Kendall getting in with Wyatt Walker for the number 8 position. Walker in the 37 starting to slip back. And now, almost 4 wide, as Ryan Kendall almost had a big run on Kev Shear. Some drivers almost getting off of the racetrack. I think one of those was Lane Rowland. Rowland almost got off the racetrack. Anna Higdon is kind of flirting with disaster there on that extreme high side. You see there in the number 48. Down the back straightaway they go. Almost 3 wide, 4 wide. Orman kind of flirting. You saw him there on that way high side. Almost got off the racing surface. It's a good thing he got back on the racing surface. Oh, I saw one driver clip the apron. I think that was the 40 of Terry Walker. Right behind Wyatt Walker as well. Both of the Walkers are working together. And you see these drivers getting pretty darn racy. Through turns 3 and 4, Terry Walker getting underneath of Wyatt Walker, but he doesn't have enough drafting help as they go through the corner. Look at him just go 3 wide all over this pack. Oh, look at the 30 Stapleton way up high. That almost didn't work, but thank goodness Stapleton used the right side of the mind to get back. Oh no, crash again in turn 2. Who was that? Who was that? That is the 4. That's the 9 of Zachary Fitzwater, the 59 of Jack Halleck, and I can't tell who the other one was. We got a crash in turn 3. Trey Wright around. I see a little bit of damage on the 47 of Saxon Mansfield, and the caution flag is out once again. And leading them back to the flag, that was the 14 of Lane Rowland. So Rowland is the new leader. Orman second, Kev Shear third, Nathan Bell fourth, fifth, that is the 80 of Ace Garcia. Sixth, that is Nathan Stapleton. Seventh, Wyatt Walker. Eighth, Hannah Higdon. Ninth, Emily Anderson. Rounding out your top 10, that is Eddie Riley. That is the 63 of Noah Cars. Look at the 52. That's Andrew Miller, all torn up. Jack Halleck's car is absolutely demolished. A little bit more demolished than that 52 of Andrew Miller. But Saxon Mansfield in the 47, I think he's going to actually be all right. Let me see if I can find him. I think he actually took his... Nope, there he is. No, that's actually Zachary Fitzwater. But his car is destroyed. I think I may have passed Saxon. I'm not 100% sure. I might have passed him. Either that or he might have taken his car to the garage area because of all that damage that he had to the nose of his race car. So we're actually going to take a look and see what caused the second caution. As wait, Nathan Stapleton coming down pit road. Let's see. Actually, no. Before we go to a replay, let's actually take a look at this. Stapleton is coming down pit road along with Hannah Higdon, Eddie Riley, and a few others. So let's see. Oh, a little bit of contact there with Derek Campbell and Eddie Riley. Eli Bright is down. Betty Johnson has come down pit road. Gets into the side of Jesse Turner there. Austin Johnson hits his pit box. Al Lagasse coming in as Stapleton is going to win that battle off of pit road. There goes the 48 of Hannah Higdon. The 21 of Marcus Sachi. The 50 of... looks like Anthony Lopez. A little bit of contact there between the 7-7 of Diego Lopez and the number 17 of Julius Anderson. Annie Lynch. There's Dylan Young. Derek Hamill. The 35 of Axel Roca. And there's 45 of Brian McCason. Eli Bright. Some of the drivers that actually did come down pit road. There's the 23 of Annie Thomas. Left side damage to the WCW machine. Alright, so we're going to show you these replays of what happened in turn number 2 to bring out caution flag number 2 of the night here in Alaska. A similar situation that happened in turn number 2, this time involving the number 59 of Jack Halleck. Watch him go down to the inside as he is clear. He was clear, but gets a little bit too low. Gets down on the apron, down on that little snowbank right here, and then gets back up on the racetrack in front of the number 9 of Zachary Fitzwater. Saxon Mansfield with nowhere to go in that 47. That's where he obtained the nose damage. And I want to say, oh man, there's the 59 of Jack Halleck launching up into the air. Same for the 9 of Zachary Fitzwater. Both of them hit the trees hard. Jack Halleck goes. But then up here on the back straightaway, getting into turn number 3, I want to see what happens here with Noah Kars, because it looks like Noah Kars was not involved in the same incident that Jack Halleck and Zachary Fitzwater were, and I think also along with Saxon Mansfield, you see him fading off from the bottom of your screen. But I want to see what happens to Noah Kars here. Oh, that's what happens. Up ahead, there's the 64 of Barry Stremme, gets into Annie Thomas and Trey Wright. And Thomas is on the inside, trying to get back on the racetrack. There's where Noah Kars gets involved. That's where Andrew Miller gets involved as well. And the 52 goes launching way up off the racetrack, off the racing surface. Same for the 63 of Noah Kars. Both of them go flying up in the air in through the trees. And watch this hit. Bam. Right into the forest goes the 52 of Andrew Miller. And there's the 9 of Fitzwater. And I think Saxon Mansfield decided to abort and call it a night for him. But Noah Kars also hits the trees, as well as Andrew Miller and Zachary Fitzwater, just trying to find his way back onto the racetrack, if we can get over to him. I believe he found his way. No, he actually was still in the trees. Right along with Fitzy here. Watch what happens going into turn 3. See up ahead, the number 59 of Jack Halleck, red, white, and black machine. Gets down to the inside, gets down to that little bank, and whammo! Enjoy the ride, Zachary Fitzwater. Not really much of a fun ride, but right there is where you get that most of that hit, is when you hit the forest. saw also the number 59 of Jack Halleck go flying up into the air. So we're actually going to ride along with him next. From Jack Halleck's view, we're actually going to go to the visor cam right here. From Jack Halleck, watch this. Hang on tight. Man. Almost kind of lost signal to our visor cam for just a split second, but Halleck ends up on his roof upside down and then ends up teleporting to Pear Road. So, man, that was actually a very violent and scary ride for the 59 of Jack Halleck. Now we're actually going to take a couple onboards from the incident that happened going into turn 3, as everything happened so quickly. So this is what Andrew Miller saw of the first incident right there. Sees all those cars get off the racing surface, flying off. They blast by Saxon Mansfield. And then take a look what happens up here. Thomas goes around, and just Andrew Miller had no idea that was going to happen. Bam! Right into the trees. And then you hear Noah Cars hitting the trees as well. As Cars tries to grab the gear and fly and drive away. Now we're actually going to take one more on board. This time with the number, we're going to actually do the 23 of Andy Thomas, as you saw Saxon Mansfield going to the garage area. One more on board, this time from the 23 of Andy Thomas. First, the view from the first incident. There it is. Flying off the racing surface, blasted by Mansfield. And then right here, he finds himself in the middle. Barry Chevy has no idea that Andy Thomas was right there. And a lot of damage to the 23 of Andy Thomas. Luckily, I believe she was able to continue this event. I think she is able to continue. But the damage on the left and right side of her race car is definitely going to play a big Achilles heel to her performance. But at the moment, the driver that led her back to the caution flag was Lane Rowland. So let's get down to the restart here in the Christmas 300. These drivers took one to go a half a lap ago, and they're coming to the restart. Closing in on halfway, more drivers have joined William Brock, Kyle Langland, and the number 26 and the number 29 of Noah Clifton. I'm sorry. Those drivers would end up being the 59 of Jack Halleck, and then Zachary Fitzwater, Saxon Mansfield, Trey Wright, Noah Cars, and Andrew Miller have all joined William Brock, Noah Clifton, and Kyle Langland in the garage area. As that we are now down to 33 cars left on the racetrack. And Lane Rowland is going to be one of those cars that will lead everybody else to the green flag to restart the Christmas 300. Getting into turn number 1. Saw Nathan Bell jump out of line. Same for Wyatt Walker. And now Kev Shear getting to the inside of Nathan Orman. Lane Rowland might have a little bit of a battle here with Kev Shear for the top position. Getting into turn 3. Look at Emily Anderson making it 3 wide for the 3rd spot. So look now, Garrett Senor coming into the picture. Same could be said for the 64 Barry Shemmy, but look at the drivers. They're starting to get down on that apron, and they're clipping the apron just a little bit, like, for example, the 42 of Audra Baranowskis. She just clipped the apron going through 4. Kev Shear just led the previous lap. And Emily Anderson challenging for 2nd. Now it's 3 wide as Johnny Garner coming up into the mix in that number 20. Following him is the 50 of Anthony Lopez. Can't even speak. Sorry. Ryan Kendall in the 56. You see him there. He is closing in on that blue and yellow 56, but he's down on the apron. He is down on that apron. Almost getting turned there by the number 22 of Annie Lynch. Whoa, Nathan Bell off the racing surface. Oh, and the yellow flag is out. For the third time tonight, what happened here? One car off the racing surface, that is Betty Johnson. Man, look at the 60 of Jack. Oh, that is actually Al Lagasse. Few bumps off the racing surface there, but Al Lagasse. Oh, the 74 of Jesse Turner. The 3 of Eli Bright. I wonder what happened here. What happened to these these drivers? What happened to them? I think they might have been a similar situation to what happened to the last 2 caution flags in turn 2. Emily Anderson was the one that led him back to the caution flag. So our third caution of the night is out here in Alaska, and the hometown hero of Emily Anderson is leading the way. Let's take a look to see what triggered our third caution of the night. But first, pit stops. Emily Anderson is going to lead him down. Leading Kev Shear, Johnny Gardner, Geert Senor, Nathan Bell, Ace Garcia, many others down pit road. And there is the 43 of Betty Johnson. She will stay out because I believe she... Oh! Annie Lynch made some contact there with the 77 of Diego Yepes. A little bit of notice damage to her machine, and now she just got into the wall. I wonder if something is wrong with the steering. She just tagged the wall a few times there. Wonder who won the race off of pit road. I believe that was the 48 of Anna Higdon. No, it was the 33. No, actually, sorry. Excuse me. That was actually the 50 of Anthony Lopez that won the race off of pit road. And I believe he's going to be your leader. Yeah, I would actually believe so. But it's actually Eli Bright that currently is leading the group. But even though he's not being scored as the leader, it's actually Anthony Lopez. It's going to be Anthony Lopez here. So let's take a look and see what happened to trigger caution flag number 3 in tonight's Christmas 300. Turn 2 has been a trouble spot all night so far in this event. And the same can be said for the apron as well. Betty Johnson definitely found that out the hard way. Watch her. She goes down to the bottom, way down to the inside. Clips the apron. And just loses control from there. Comes back up into Jesse Turner. Austin Johnson barely dodging a bullet right there in that 57. But Eli Bright also got collected as well. All 4 of these cars go launching up in the air. The furthest one was the 74 of Jesse Turner. As he comes back down onto the ground, backs it into the trees. And Al Lagasse follows that up as well. Betty Johnson and Eli Bright, 43 and 3, goes kind of spinning through the trees and find himself almost spinning into another pair of trees in turn number 2. So our third caution of the night happens on a restart, as this wreck involves Betty Johnson, Jesse Turner, Al Lagasse, and Eli Bright. Here at Alaska, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Be right back with you right after this. This is the Christmas 300 live on ISRN, the International Sports Racing Network.
You're acting so funny. What's wrong, Billy?
My doctor says I have Skittles pox.
Are they contagious?
I don't think so.
Contract the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
6 jobs, 9 cars, 80 summers, and you're done. You could spend your life watching other people with branded helmets and
sticker book smiles. Or you can go out and make some marks of your own. Earn some scars, break records, bones, and hearts. Till you're 80, and you're still throwing punches. Or the world weeps at your grave. You only got one shot.
So bring a rocket launcher. You only live once.
We are back here at the Alaska Super Speedway. Right now, leading the way is the number 50 of Anthony Lopez, the Dr. Pepper machine. Running in second, that is the 21 of Marcus Sachi. And then third, Zachary Taylor. Fourth, Hannah Higdon. Fifth is the 12 of Derek Hamill. Sixth, that is Johnny Gardner. Seventh, Garrett Sanur. Eighth, Julius Anderson. Ninth, Emily Anderson. And rounding out your top 10, that is number 64 of Barry Stremming. See one car coming back out onto the racetrack. That is the 43 of Betty Johnson, who got involved in our most previous caution flag, our most recent yellow flag that we are just getting ready to restart from. And I believe Eli Bright and Al Lagasse and Jesse Turner have all joined Jack Halleck, Zachary Fitzwater, Saxon Mansfield, and everyone else into the garage area. So that leaves us 32 drivers, 32 competitors. Actually, no, 30 of them left on the racetrack. At this point, we might end up with about 20 or so cars left if things like this keep up. We are halfway through this race, 20 down, 20 to go. When they cross the stripe this time by to take the restart, it will be 21 laps complete, 19 laps to go here in the Christmas 300. And that driver right there, Anthony Lopez, is the control car. He is the race leader as the pace car is off. 19 laps remaining in the Christmas 300. Anthony Lopez leads him to the restart. And the thing is, this is actually the first time that we're going to actually experience lap traffic on the racing surface here in Alaska. Betty Johnson is way off the pace, and you can tell right there, holding up Julius Anderson. Anderson going way down to that inside. See him there in the black and blue, Lycos number 17. Anthony Lopez still maintaining the race lead over Marcus Sachi as they work their way through turn 4. Orman getting extremely squirrely. Getting into turn 1 once again. Sachi goes high. Taylor right now going to challenge for second. So will the 12 of Derek Hamill and possibly the 66 of Emily Anderson. She has found her way back to the inside. Wyatt Walker in the 37 is coming. Oh, we got a crash on the back straightaway. Two cars way off the racing surface. I'm trying to see who they were. Johnny Gardner and Ace Garcia. No caution. They were way off the racing surface when this happened, so we stay green. Lopez continues the lead. 3 wide now for the top position. Garrett Sanur underneath of Derek Hamill and Anthony Lopez. Puts Sanur up into the top position. Emily Anderson still there on that inside line. And now we got Axel Roca in the 35 now coming into the mix. Look at him down on the inside. Kind of hung around mid-pack, around the back all night long. And here he is now starting to show some muscle here in this race. Man, these drivers at this point, they might wreck on the front straightaway if they're not careful. Almost 5 wide, getting into turn number 1 here as we're taking a look at the aerial view. Nathan Stapleton, Barry Stremming kind of flirting with disaster there. Had to get out of the gas. Kind of bottlenecks the inside line. Anthony Lopez getting a little bit loose there. Off the racing surface into those those flags. Hannah Higdon has the top position. The last time Higdon won a special event, that was the Pumpkin 250. And that was Kelsey Higdon that went on to win the race. Hannah trying to repeat the same history as another Higdon will go in victory lane. You saw Johnny Gardner there right at your screen trying to get back onto the racing surface. Brian McCason to the inside. And we're catching up to Ace Garcia Another driver that was involved. The other driver that was involved in that incident with Johnny Garner there. You see him in the back. In the background. You saw him there in the background. McCason leads as we're coming up to the number 80 of Ace Garcia. What are these drivers going to do? McCason up high, Zachary Taylor down low. Are they gonna split him? Emily Anderson way off the racing surface. And it looks like they're gonna split him. Working their way through 3 and 4. Taylor to the inside of Brian McCason for the lead. Higdon hitting the flags. White Walker hitting the flags. Looks like the 15 car. That Oakwoods machine, that was Jay Jefferson. It looked like he was hitting the flags, but not too much of a big deal here because pretty much the flags are pretty much intangible. You can go through those flags. Orman way off the racing surface. Oh man, that was so close. Stapleton off the racing surface. But how about that save there by Nathan Orman? Almost getting taken out. And somehow they were able to hold it together. My goodness gracious. Things are getting absolutely crazy here in the late stages of the Christmas 300 here in Alaska. Ryan Kendall with the top position, 3 wide for second, and a crash in turn 3. I think that was Kev Shear that went off the racetrack. I do not see the stand the machine, so it might have been. The yellow flag is out, and it's the 56 of Ryan Kendall that leads them back to the caution. That was the 66 of Emily Anderson that was involved. The 36 of Kev Shear, all torn up. Oh, but you gotta feel for Emily Anderson, though. You've got to feel for Emily Anderson. This was her home race. Hometown hero. Gets taken out late in the going. Coming to 10 laps to go. Going through the trailers, but man, oh man, things are shaking up here in the Christmas 300. Things are not going, things here are not going to be a big major disappointment. So far this race hasn't been such a big disappointment, but things right now in the late stages, we're getting ready to see something brew up here in the late going of this race. And it looks like nobody else, I don't think anybody's going to come down pit road. And you see the 80 of Ace Garcia come down. He's got a little bit of damage. There's Annie Lynch coming down. Emily Anderson has found her way back onto the racing surface. So she's going to work her way back around, and she might call it a night in the number 66 machine. But Ryan Kendall, the leader. Let's go back and see what happened to the trigger caution flag number 4 of the night here in Alaska. The pictures kind of tell the story here. Emily Anderson gets down on the apron, and just like in turn 2, when you get down on the apron, you're pretty much along for the ride. Emily Anderson and Kev Shear go flying into the forest. See if we can follow with Kev Shear. There he is. That's actually Emily Anderson, my bad. But Kev Shear, there he is, tumbling side over side, end over end. Goes the 36 of Kev Shear. It's kind of hard to see him, but if you can tell, that is Kev Shear in the number 36. Done for the day. Done for the night, I should say, here in the Christmas 300. This is from Emily Anderson's perspective. Watch her as she gets down on the apron. Checks up. Clips the 36 of Kev Shear. And into the trees. Driver's side. A hard hit for the number 66 of Emily Anderson, and especially a wild ride for Kev Shear, as you are about to ride with him next. You're riding with Kev Shear in the 36. says, hang on tight. Gets clipped by Emily Anderson, goes flying. Violently flipping side over side, end over end. Comes the rest on all 4 tires. And Kev Shear, who was in the running late in the going, unfortunately is going to get taken out late in the going. Here in the Christmas 300 here in Alaska. So that was our 4th caution flag of the night. So let's get down to the nitty gritty, and these drivers, they're actually coming around to take one to go. So they actually just took one to go, and they're on the back straightaway now. So I can't even speak. Sorry. So let's join them on the back straightaway as they get ready to restart here at Alaska for the Christmas 300. They will restart with 9 laps to go. Or excuse me, 8 laps to go. In the Christmas 300 here in the Alaska Super Speedway. And everybody else, from Betty Johnson, I think Betty Johnson is still on the racetrack. No, she is actually. Yes, she is. She is still on the racetrack. But everybody else from Emily Anderson all the way down to 42nd, they all smelled what the Rock was cooking, and they are sitting on the sidelines, and they will be watching the finish of the Christmas 300 here in the Alaska Super Speedway. Ryan Kendall, that blue and yellow Clearwater number 56, is going to lead them to the restart. Who will win the Christmas 300? Find out here, and as these drivers hit the restart. 8 laps to go. 3 wide for second. Nathan Bell on the inside of Taylor and Lane Rowland. Rowland has been up here all night long. And now look at the 72. Getting to the inside of Ryan Kendall for the top position. Brian McCason into the flags. Through 3 and 4. 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Here comes Axel Roca. He got down in the apron though. Anthony Lopez is down there as well, so they might be slowed down by just a little bit. 7 to go. Nathan Bell is leading the way. 1 and 2, 4 abreast. How about Annie Thomas now up here into the mix? Oh boy, Lopez, Higdon hops. Higdon hops. She just hopped. And there's Higdon, side over side, end over end. No caution though. No yellow. She got off the racing surface, but she is out of contention. What a heartbreaker for Hannah Higdon. Oh my goodness gracious. That was violent though. That was violent. Axel Roca leads with 6 laps to go. Hamill second. Look at Sonora there in the 32. Taking the 2nd spot away. Barry Stremme coming into the mix. Oh my goodness gracious. Things are getting heated. Coming to 5 laps to go here in the Christmas 300. Look at the 45. Blocking the 40. Dylan Young. Getting down on the apron, but he still finds himself with a shot to win this thing. The yellow is out. The yellow flag is out for the 5th time tonight. Who does it involve? I do not see anybody off the racing surface. Oh my goodness, but there's the 48 of Hannah Higdon, who just literally just bunny hopped through in turn 2 way over everybody else and started tumbling side over side, end over end. And will she be done for the night? The answer is yes. Oh my goodness, but Garrett Senor led everybody back to the caution flag. There's Axel Roca, there's the pace car, and there's Garrett Senor. We're actually going to take a look and see what triggered our 5th caution. This is our 5th caution of the night here in Alaska. So, and after that, after we take a look at a replay, we're actually going to see if these drivers are going to have a green-white checker or a one-lap shootout. So, let's take a look at a replay right now. Well, this caution flag did not involve anybody else getting off the racing surface, but this was for Hannah Higdon getting back onto the racetrack at a very slow speed, and the 22 of Annie Lynch was coming up at a very quick rate of speed. Either that, or this might have been a debris caution, because they probably spotted some debris, probably from the 48 car. Probably, it might have broken off of her race car from underneath of her car, and we might have missed it, but the officials might have caught it and threw the yellow flag out. So I believe a debris caution is what slowed everybody down for the 5th time tonight. And at the moment, it is actually the 32 of Garrett Senor that beat Axel Roca to the start-finish line to lead everybody to the caution flag. So we're actually going to see if they're going to either A, do a green-white checkered, B, a one-lap shootout, or C, finish under yellow. Let's go and see right now. It will be a one-lap shootout to the finish in the Christmas 300 here in the Alaska Super Speedway. And Garrett Senor is the leader, followed by Axel Roca in second, third Barry Stremme, fourth Derek Hamill, fifth Lane Rowland, sixth, that is the 72 of Nathan Bell. Seventh is the 45 of Brian McCason. Eighth is the 57. The number 57, that is Austin Johnson. Ninth is the 50 of Anthony Lopez. And rounding out your top 10 is Ryan Kendall. Coming down to the restart, I believe this is actually the first time ever in Christmas 300 history that we have had a one-lap shootout. So we are going to find out who will win. Who will win it all in the Christmas 300 in Alaska. I think this is the first running, the first official race at Alaska Super Speedway, I do believe. If not, the first race that ISRN, the first race at Alaska Super Speedway that ISRN has covered. But the second annual Christmas 300 for the first time in Alaska, and who is going to win it? Garrett Senor is leading to the green and white flags. Will he be leading, coming back to the checkered flag? Let's find out. One lap to go. Roca goes high. Stremme following on the back end as they go into turns 1 and 2. Look at Barry Stremme getting to the inside. Derek Hamill in the number 12 is right there. Will he be able to get to the inside of Barry Stremme as they get down the back straightaway for the final time? Stremme has it. Getting into turn 3. 3 wide for second. There's Lane Rowland in the 14. Will he have a shot of getting underneath of Barry Stremme? Yes, he will. Lane Rowland to the bottom. Here they come to the stripe. It's going to be Barry Stremme with the win. Barry Stremme in the 64 gets the victory in the Christmas 300. How about that for Barry Stremme? Wow. That was an amazing one-lap shootout. Oh my goodness gracious. I thought Lane Rowland was going to have it. Lane Rowland, who had been up in the top 5, top 10 all day long, just lost it by 5/100ths of a second. But what a good showing for Lane Rowland in the number 14. Man, oh man, this was a good race. This was a very, very good race, I do have to say. But Lane Rowland's going to finish second. Third will be the number 12. The number 12 machine. I believe that is Derek Hamill. Yes, it is. Fourth is Axel Roca. Rounding out your top 5, that is Brian McCason. Sixth is Garrett Sonor. Seventh is Terry Walker. Eighth is Nathan Bell. Ninth is the 50 of Anthony Lopez. And rounding out your top 10 is Nathan Orman. Well, that's all the Christmas events that we do have for tonight. Hopefully everybody has an amazing Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year from all of us here in the ISRN. We want to thank you all for tuning in to what will be the last race, what may be the last race of 2018. And then next year there is a lot coming. A lot is coming for the ISRN. We got the WRLA returning in April and a whole lot of other things coming to you. The NASCAR Pit Stop Show is returning in 2019, and plus a whole lot of other things, a whole lot of other projects that may be released in 2019. We hope you all enjoy what is coming for next year. On behalf of everybody else, we want to thank you all for joining us for all the races that have been broadcasted here in the ISRN. Even though there really wasn't a whole lot, we still thank you so much for being a part of this big journey throughout 2018. On behalf of everybody else in the ISRN, in the ISRN crew, I'm Elijah Leonard signing off for the last time in 2018, saying that you've been watching a production of the ISRN, the International Sports Racing Network. We will see you all for maybe a live race someday in 2019. Have a great rest of your night. Merry Christmas and have a very Happy New Year.